Alright. Okay, here we go.
Since the dawn of time, millions have gathered to witness the Game Awards. Cave paintings depict Geoff Keighley hates stemming from before language was born. But the question is, do these awards prove value? And how many more Half-Life 3 announcements will Geoff sacrifice for yet another Team Hero shooter? This is my journey, to learn of the value of the Game of the Year award and the importance of experience. Join me as I play Expedition 33 to learn why it won Game of the Year.
We are introduced to Gustav, the supposed main character of the game, and Maëlle. Off rip, both of these characters are likable and relatable. Gustav for me especially, with his fumbling over words and general anxiety.
You know, I'm sorry that... I miss you.
You don't need to... Okay.
You go.
No.
Now, I have played this intro before, but for some reason it hits so much harder this time. Like, actual chills all over my body. It did hit me the first time, but maybe this time I felt the full scope of the homage. The music was heartbreaking in these scenes, watching people say goodbye to their families, people losing everyone they love right before their eyes with no way to stop it from happening. It's tragic and beautiful at the same time. It serves as great fuel for what's to come. From this point, our goal is made obvious. Travel to the paintress, the person causing all the homages, and kill her. Our expedition sets off into the great big world on the hunt for the paintress. Everyone immediately gets bodied by these incredibly scary monsters, and we get separated from Maëlle. I liked how this set up the world personally. It made it feel incredibly dangerous and mysterious. Who was the white-haired man? Who took Maëlle? What really is the paintress and her purpose? It's these questions that drove me forward into the game and kept me fully hooked the whole time. Gustav awakes later in the forest. We fight our first ever Nevron and get fully introduced to the main combat system. I was skeptical at first. It almost seemed too easy to win these fights, and the enemies have obvious and easy to hit weak spots. Continuing on into the story, they really like to show rather than tell, which I really like. They don't explicitly tell how many people died, but they do show you the very, very large piles of corpses. Gustav has an incredible scene where he contemplates what to do, and it shows you his mindset here. He has no hope to survive, and was ready to end it right here. Lucky for him, Lune pulled him out of the trance, and were launched into another fight, which was also quite easy. However, the combat is slowly growing on me, as it's satisfying to parry and dodge perfectly. Apparently, we were supposed to head for the rendezvous point, but instead, let me just go the opposite way. This game felt very Final Fantasy, especially Final Fantasy 16 feeling, which to me is one of my favorite games of all time, so I wanted to make sure I caught everything. I ended up fighting my first ever mini-boss, which went as well as you might expect. No, we don't got it. W. Cool. We discovered a hologram thingy, which holds the story of Expedition 81. This is a collectible, and I like them because you get to see kind of how everything came up to this point, and sometimes questionable strategies people used. Really? A Ferris wheel for a vehicle? Were we really that desperate? And look where it ended up to. Come on, guys. You didn't even make it halfway. Not even across the sea. Like, seriously. Man, this game really makes you feel like you can get crushed like a bug under some of these enemies. Now, this is actually the first boss of the game, and it's where the combat finally started to grow on me. I love seeing that number go higher and higher. Also, super cool ending to the boss. Past the boss, we are directed to the corals. We're introduced to the overworld part of the game, which I actually really like. It reminds me a lot of Ni no Kuni 2. We can also camp. During our wondrous adventure in the forest, a cutscene plays between Lune and Gustav. This is by far my favorite cutscene in the game, and perhaps of all time. Overall, incredible, and I can see why Charlie Cox was nominated.
Oh, fuck the mission! Fuck the mission, Lune! What are we gonna do, huh? Tell me. What are we gonna do? We're gonna take down the paintress, just the three of us? My gun and your sparks?
I didn't take you for a coward.
I'm not a coward.
You swore the oath. When one falls, we continue.
Yes, I know.
When one falls. When one falls. Not if. When. We knew not all of us would make it, but we continue. As long as even one of us stands, our fight is not over.
But I'm not afraid to fight, it's just Maëlle, she's...
Maëlle swore the same oath.
I know that!
She chose her life. You and I... Come on, we always said the future of Lumiere is more important than
any individual life, yes.
Do you still believe that? Do you still believe that? Do you?
I do.
Hey guys, editing Raker coming in here. I'm sorry. I just had to watch that cutscene again, like editing this, and holy shit, bro, it is still gas. It is still gas the second time. Hell, that was the third time actually me watching, bro. That shit is fire. Fucking fire. Anyway, back to the video. Going through the coral area was quite easy. However, it is a very cool place. I'd like to take a moment to point out how gorgeous this game is to me. Like, come on, some of the views are just incredible. Coming up on this hut, we get sucked into the door. We appear on the presumed other side, which appears to be a mansion? We find Mael and also, good golly, what is that? It turns out he's chill, so we do a tutorial fight and move on. Oh, and his name is the Curator, by the way, just important to note that, since I do mention him later. Anyways, Mael also befriended a gestural named Noko, so we set our heading to his home to learn how to cross the sea to the Paintress. I'm putting that in, I don't care. On our way towards the villages, I decided to fight the biggest thing I could find, which ended up being this massive monster. He fucking ate one of my party members off rip, but we pulled through. We fight another boss, which was really cool, and the combat has finally hit me. I love this shit. My favorite part is just parrying everything that's thrown at me. Making it to the Red Forest, I met a boy that looks similar to the Curator. Now's a good time to mention how much foreshadowing that this game uses, along with just shoving moments of precious story lore into your gullet. Excuse me. This boy right here, you may not know it, but he is actually one of the most important parts of the story. The boy seems to miss people and has seen other expeditions before. That's all we really get. Hey guys, it's Editing Raker here again. Listen, I'm just coming in to tell you that I never really mentioned the young boy again, but he does appear throughout the game. I just never mentioned him in the script again because I suck at writing. Anyway, back to the video. We coasted through another 2 bosses, reaching the village with relative ease. This place is just very red, like a super red forest. Pushing our way through the village, we meet the chief, lovingly titled Chef. She tells us to find Esquie, but to reach him, we need a password. To get the password, we have to fight in the tournament. Now, for this, I'm excited. I drop every single enemy with ease before reaching the final champion, who is actually an expeditioner. Ciel is my favorite character in this game, for no other reason than because of just how fucking broken she was by the end of the game. We drop her with ease as well, though. Golgra gives us the password, but before we go, I spot something. Provoke Golgra to a duel. Man, I got this for sure. Let me just send Mael.
Damn, you hit that nigga so hard to replay 3 different times.
Okay, so we'll be back later then to try that again. Making it to camp, Mael has a nightmare it seems, and something I've never really seen in any other game is done. They played with the aspect ratio of the screen, turning it into more of an old-fashioned look, which was super interesting to see. Pushing our way to Esquie, I fought more enemies in the overworld for their XP. I just really don't want to be underleveled because unfortunately that's a common thing for me. Another funny cutscene plays and man, I really love these characters a lot.
Get out of my way!
They all feel so real to me because of their flaws. Characters that start off worse than grow are always better than a perfect character to me. We meet Esquie and he's just a chill guy. If we want help from him, we need to retrieve his rock Flory. To get Flory, we must go on a long, arduous journey of many moons, and many will die on the way. Oh, he's just in the other room. Alright. Francois is the person keeping him from Esquie, and we must defeat him to attain it. This was low-key probably one of the funniest parts of the game to me. Francois is just hilarious, and the fight was easy.
You certainly have rocks for brains. I am clearly a turtle. Esquie! Stop sending hooligans over here!
Stop being a meanie. They're nice humans.
Then keep them on your side of the caves!
Making our way back... Hold on. Is that a mime over there? Now I just have to know what that is. Overall, easy fight, just took some time. Back at Esquie, we're informed that the rock is a fake, and the real Flory is in the Stone Wave Cliffs. But hey, new form of traveling in the overworld. Yippee! After some exploring and boss killing, we hit another camp sesh. I forgot to mention this earlier, but we can actually check up on the party, which shows some special cutscenes, which further fleshes out the party members' personalities. Oh, and there's another nightmare for Mael, which is always the cherry on top. Actually, continuing on with the story, passing through the Stone Wave Cliffs, I continue to just make Ciel absolutely broken, which makes these fights kind of dead easy. The Lamp Master was not that difficult, though the moves it was throwing at me were difficult to see, which made it hard to parry. After defeating the Lamp Master, we celebrate, taking a second before hopping on Esquie. Gustav and Mael share a moment. Man, we really are gonna do it. We're gonna beat the Paintress for real. Heartbreaking. Just heartbreaking. Even after throwing everything we have, this old guy just keeps getting back up. I thought this was the end for Mael as well. For sure she was gonna die, if it wasn't for a man coming in to save the day. We escaped, but the loss was just too great. The party is devastated, and there are some touching scenes that unfold. The man reappears, claiming to be from the very first expedition, and also immortal. He tells us the name of the white-haired man, Renoir. In order to kill him, we need to kill the Paintress. He joins our squad in the hunt for the Paintress. His name is Verso. Overall, this act was an incredible introduction to both the story and the general gameplay. The great thing was that I never felt overwhelmed like I usually do with open world games. To me, it felt very clear-cut, and it was easy to tell where to go. We're left with more questions than answers as well. What on earth is the Paintress? Who is Verso really, and what is with all these goddamn mimes? Continuing forth, we reach the Forgotten Battlefield, which really shows the full scope of how many lives have been taken by the Nevrons. Low-key, it reminded me a lot of Radahn's opening from Elden Ring. It just has that same aura to me. Something I've liked so far is how they've introduced new game mechanics as the story progresses, with great encounters being the new thing here. What makes great encounters interesting is how it forces you to parry these specific attacks, making fights more challenging. A little gripe I have with this area of the game is just how my FPS takes a hit during fights, mostly in this area, but also sometimes in others. Mostly, it could just be that my computer is dog shit, but for now I'd like to think it's just the game slowing up in some areas due to the volume. The fights are starting to have a real challenge now, mostly the mini-bosses, where I had to parry literally everything thrown at me or it was basically game over. Pushing through the battlefield, we get thrown into the boss fight of the area. This fight is fucking awesome, from the music to the moveset. The fight wasn't terribly difficult, but learning the moveset was definitely a fun time. We get to put Gustav to rest, which was a touching respite due to all the endless fighting that was occurring before this point. At camp, I got introduced to relationship levels with the party. Okay, so for me, I'm not the biggest fan of relationship levels in games, mostly because I feel like it makes going to talk to them seem for a reward and forced rather than general interest for the character. A good example is Persona. Say I'm not the biggest fan of Ryuji. Well, if I want his insta-kill move and extra XP for fusing, I have to talk to him. I'm not talking to him for the story, I'm talking to him for the XP and the insta-kill move. It makes his story and his character arc a slog because instead of enjoying his story, I'm getting more and more impatient for the rewards. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. In fact, I think it's good to have incentives, and I do like the social link system in Persona. To me personally, it makes me feel forced to talk to characters and like them rather than to have it feel natural. Okay, back on topic now. Minoko's station is pretty cool, but smaller than I thought it would be. Minoko himself is hilarious, and the way we get him on the team is really funny too.
Ladies, could I interest you in a duel?
Oh, his whole thing is that he collects Nevron feet and turns into Nevrons. Kinda wacky. Another boss fight later, we're on the way to Old Lumiere. But before that, parkour, yeah! I hate that minigame. Never again, dude, never again. Also, it reminded me a lot of Only Up. Look, like, even the animations are the exact same. We did some more exploring and boss fighting, mostly just to try and stay at a good level for the next area, and we hit another camp sesh too. Okay, finally, we can get on to Old Lumiere. This area is super cool. I like the golden sword sticking out everywhere. Also, a big problem. The party got separated. Yeah, that is not good, especially since I haven't built Lune or Minoko at all. That's alright though, my goat CL carried that part. Pretty much, we just get to see how the two groups make it to the heart of the place, which seems to be a manor. Verso tries to sneak in, and we get launched into a fight with Renoir. Now, for me, this is a really important fight. For a little backstory, I have played this game before, and now hold on. Before you call me a fraud, let me just explain. I got stuck on this fight right here and lost interest due to being unable to defeat him. I hadn't played the game since then, but being back, I was more confident, but also more nervous than ever. It was easy. It was easy as fuck. Yeah, I beat the shit out of him. Man, I was expecting that to be a lot harder, and I was light. I don't know what happened. Anyhoozle. After the fight, it turns out Minoko's son got caught in the crossfire and died. Now, to be honest, I didn't really feel that sad. I feel bad for Minoko, of course, but I never really felt connected to Noko because he was like only in 2 cutscenes. Now, things get interesting. Since the only way we could get to the Paintress was by destroying her heart, but now the heart has disappeared, we can't get to the Paintress. However, there is a way to bypass this. By killing an Axon and giving a piece of it to the Curator, we can create a weapon to access the Paintress. Axons are these massive fucking Nevrons that are absolutely terrifying and very, and I mean very, strong. We have to defeat 2 of them, which isn't so bad, I guess. There was one that was weakened, and then we just have to pick another one, I guess. After getting lost while trying to find one, we reach the Dancer's Domain. Now, before we enter, let me make something clear. When the entrance says danger, that means we're underleveled. But, fuck it, we ball. Let's just fucking kill this thing right here. First of all, it is bright as shit in this place. And secondly, I am in fact way in over my head. But here is my philosophy. Sun Tzu says, victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first, then seek to win. Now, I have zero fucking clue what that means. But, if I kill everything I see, eventually I will be the correct level. Fighting the Tissur was super fun and also difficult. The reason for the difficulty was because of the curse he puts on you. To put it simply, you will die in a few turns after a curse is put on you, so you have to act fast. On my second attempt, I won, but it was super close. Not to mention, I was absolutely killing it all the way up to the end when I fumbled completely and had to send in the fucking reserve squad to finish off. Finally, after an arduous journey down, we made it to the Axon. Now, this fight was absolutely incredible, and honestly, that's all my notes really say. The attacks were fun, it was a good level of difficulty, and learning the moveset felt incredible. Alright, 1 Axon down, 1 to go. Before making our way to the next Axon, we hit a camp where I learned that we actually did the hard Axon first. Well, whoopsie daisy, but we got it done, so be it. In the next Axon area, it gives us a choice to go off in other directions to make the boss fight easier. At this point, however, I lacked patience. So instead, let's just fucking brute force this hoe. Holy shit. Brute forcing this fight made it so much harder. However, harder does equal more fun, so I enjoyed it. Also, having it be 2 different phases made me shit my pants because I spent all my energy in the first phase, but somehow, some way we won. Yes! Fuck yes! Holy shit! Oh my god, we did it. Mael gets her new Paintress killing weapon, and damn! Holy shit, this thing is fucking broken. A camp party later, and we can finally set our sights on the Paintress. On the way, a feeling of nervous excitement filled my body. It's a very rare occasion that a game can do that to me. With how powerful and big she looks, no wonder I'm nervous. The foot of the Monolith is a super cool area, but really short since it's just a walk to the Paintress. Here we go. It's finally time to fight the Paintress and finish this once and for all. Let's see how much damage we do. Wait, what? Nothing? We may be cooked. Instead of pounding me flat like a pancake, the Paintress transformed and dipped into the Monolith. We followed, leading to the largest, coolest, and most difficult area of the game for me. This area is so cool because it actually takes you through the journey again. You start with the forest Gustav woke up in, go through the corals, the Red Forest, the Stone Wave Cliffs, Monoko Station, the Forgotten Battlefield, all the way up until the top of the Monolith. During this journey, we had lots of battles. Most were relatively easy, but there was one that was impossible, but not in the way you think. In front of Monoko Station, there are some fire and ice enemies along with a powerful Obscure. Now, overall, this fight isn't too bad. The problem is that the fire and ice enemies soft-lock the fight after like 2 turns. I gave this fight a solid 2 attempts before I decided to skip it because frankly, I would have to be able to kill both the fire and ice enemies before they activate the kill game tech they have. We meet Renoir once again on top of the Monolith and put him on his ass, but he almost beat me by freezing my game. Another idiot fucking tech move that he has. It's some bullshit! What happened? Come on, don't crash. No! Okay, we're good. Holy shit. But we pulled through. God bless. We somehow gommage Renoir. Seems to be some sort of new ability Mael pulled out of her ass. Anyways, we're finally at the top of the Monolith. Now let's confront the Paintress and end this once and for all. Now this fight right here. Oh boy. First of all, I was in over my head for sure because my HP was getting fucked the whole fight. And even then, her attacks were incredibly difficult to parry. After a few attempts, I had to hop off because I was so tired already from all the other fighting I had done, and also for the safety of my controller. Hopping back in the next day, I decided to head out of the Monolith and grind a little bit, or I just fought a boss, then moved around some Pictos to try and buff my defense up. Alright, once again, we're back to give the Paintress another attempt. And we fucking cooked her ass. Let's go. Fucking crazy parries, crazy damage, crazy dodges. I absolutely cooked in this fight. We gomage the paintress and then head home with our heads held high, victorious. Back in Lumiere, we are greeted with a grand party and everyone shares heartfelt moments with people they thought they would never see again. Until, once again, tragedy struck. In the ultimate final move, a wave exploded from the monolith, gomaging everyone. At this point, my mouth was already agape, but if it wasn't, this next part would have dropped my jaw to the floor. We awake as Alicia in what seems to be the real world. It turns out the whole game that we've been playing has been taking place on this canvas that Verso painted before he died. His mother, heartbroken by his death, entered his canvas in order to live in ignorance, to believe that he is still alive. Renoir went in after her, thus making this battle between them that we ended without knowing the full truth. Alicia's sister forces us to go into the canvas to help their grieving parents. Alicia obliged, and we do, but we get smothered by the paintress's chroma. Alicia is reborn into Mael, and thus the story of the game begins. Returning to the gomage, Mael lived, now with her painter knowledge, as well as Verso, since he is the last part of the real world Verso left. We go to the real world Renoir and ask him to undo the gomage, but he declines, understanding that this canvas must be erased to protect his family and to let Verso rest. Mael doesn't agree, so we escape to camp, where she uses her painter powers to revive the rest of the party. Using a person's chroma, Mael can revive that person, and using this information, the party forms a plan to revive all of the past expeditions that died to Nevrons. We see a rather fun montage of this occurring. The party goes back to every area and revives each member, creating the ultimate expedition. Before we go to Lumiere to end the game, this is our final moment to explore whatever we want and prepare. Fuck it, let's just end this shit. Lumiere became a total war zone, and it was fucking awesome. The enemies here weren't difficult at all, which made me feel very confident for the boss, but before that, there is a mini-boss right in my way. The fight wasn't too bad, but the problem was that after defeating it, I went to save and rest, expecting it not, I repeat, not to respawn. Now, this is important information. Normally, mini-bosses don't respawn, but for some reason, this one did. Luckily, I was able to load the quick save right after I defeated it, and it turns out that there was a save right ahead. So it was a whole heart attack for nothing. Love this game. We finally reached Renoir, where our final battle begins. To sum up how this fight went, I got my ass beat, like, hard, to the point where I felt like I would have to turn the difficulty down. But I decided not to do anything drastic yet and went to bed because it was late. Okay, round 2. Turns out I was playing like complete ass yesterday because I just fucking cooked this guy on the first attempt. Bro didn't even have a chance. And let me be clear, I did not alter anything, and I did not grind anything up either. I just went back into that hoe and boxed his ass up easily. After the fight, him and Mael have a heart-to-heart where Mael promises to not stay in the canvas too long, and then Renoir leaves. Verso enters the portal to find the Shadow Boy. He seems to be painting the canvas tirelessly, as if he's forced to. Verso tries to free the boy, but Mael stops him. Now, let me explain what this means really quick. The Shadow Boy that we have been seeing throughout the game is actually a fragment of Verso's soul that was placed into the canvas. His soul is forever painting, unless he is freed by someone, thereby erasing the canvas. Verso wants to free the last fragment and erase the canvas, and Mael wants to keep the canvas alive, but this imprisons the last of Verso's soul. In the end, we the player are given the choice. We must decide the fate of the canvas. I chose Verso because he deserves to rest in peace, and this family must move on from the grief that haunts them. Hiding in his canvas and keeping part of his soul trapped does no good for anyone. We defeat Mael and free the last of Verso's soul, erasing the canvas and this world with it. We watch as the Painter family has a funeral for Verso, finally accepting his death, in reality with it. Alicia watches as her friends she made in that world, as well as Mael, fade away, as she moves on further into accepting reality. Overall, this story was incredible. The way it transformed from a classic hero's journey to defeat the big bad monster into the story of how a family can be torn apart by grief is amazing. I really, really love this game, from its story to its gameplay, and I understand why it won Game of the Year. But we shouldn't judge games by the awards that they win or don't win. Games are experiences, and my experience is completely different from someone else's. Use your experience with the game to form your own opinions. Maybe you hated the game. Maybe you loved it. All that matters is what you think. Don't ever let anyone tell you what you can and cannot like. If you love Fortnite, so be it. If you think Persona is a garbage franchise, that's okay too. We all have our own opinions, and we should be able to express them without hatred for others and their opinions. Unfortunately, that's how things seem whenever there are award showed for games. When Expedition 33 won, I wasn't mad at all. It just made me want to play it more, and that is how it should be. We should embrace trying new things, not hate on them because they are different. Okay, sorry, that was a long tangent. Anyway, that's it.
Hi there. It's me, the guy who made the video. I am very sick right now. I don't know if you can hear, but my nose is clogged. But I just wanted to come in here and say thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm gonna make another kind of video like this. I liked it a lot. If you thought it was good, please leave a comment and say like, wow, that was good. Please make another one, and I will. It's just like I just thought that script, like after finishing it, I thought that script was like, I missed a lot in that script. But I guess it's only up from here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I will see y'all again this month. I want to try and upload monthly, but I just can't seem to get it at the moment. I'm like a month late right now, but whatever. Anyway, bye bye.